Hello, Jade.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going, Jade?
Well, it's been a week, and it started off perfectly with us ending off last week joking about South Africa, and then moments later, they were load shedding again.
Yeah, I don't think the South African government liked our joke about us being sponsored by them, and
Yeah.
now they are
So
punishing
they cut
Jade.
my fucking power.
Yeah,
Pricks.
yeah, they cut the whole country's power because of a joke. Fucking
Absolute pricks.
absolutely. Like, can't take a joke much, man. Couldn't be me. Um,
Couldn't be me.
yeah, load
But
shedding's back.
aside from that weekend, it hasn't actually been like load shed again since
I
this
mean,
past weekend.
yeah, you haven't mentioned it, so I kind of just forgot about it.
Yeah, but it was just kind of a shock because the load shedding that weekend just screwed up my whole weekend basically. As you know, my
Yeah,
times for being active and awake
were
are
the
like
it,
through the night.
yeah, you're basically like you sleep during the day and live at night.
Yeah. And that load shedding was like at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like the prime Jade hour.
Prime Jade hours.
uh, it's not the only news with
But
South Africa though.
speaking of South Africa, your president seems to
My
want have a
president,
couple of fucking
my
bones to
my
pick with us
president,
here.
my president fucking hates your president. My president would beat your president in a fight.
You know what? I don't think that's true.
Neither do I. Like, how old is Ramaphosa? I'm gonna guess he's
Ramaphosa.
I'm gonna guess he's in his 60s. It's like the average
Um,
age of a politician.
he's 72.
72.
Yeah, 72 years old.
He looks pretty good for 72.
Well, I mean, it's a far less stressful position than this American presidency in general. Because I remember there being that post where they post a picture of a president at the beginning of their term and then at the end of their presidency,
And they look like a
and it looks like
skeleton.
they've aged like 50 years.
Like the best one is Obama because Obama goes in like bright-eyed, his hair is all dark and nice, and he exits and he's like grayed, he's like sagging.
Yeah, somehow the
Very sad.
maybe they like feeding off the energy of the president there.
Ramaphosa?
No, in America,
Oh, I thought you meant like
like they
Ramaphosa is
they
stealing the
keep
life energy of foreign leaders.
like the CIA is just slowly seeping the energy out of your president or some
They're
shit.
they're building it up into a massive energy reserve. They're
God.
dumping it. That's what the adrenochrome is. It doesn't actually come from young children. It comes from sitting presidents.
Yes,
Yeah. Well,
but your president does have a bone
yeah.
to pick with South Africa.
He was on the tarmac and he was like, they're doing horrible things down there. I've heard of some horrible things they're doing. We're looking into it now, but they've been doing horrible things, probably worse than you've ever heard. Basically
I
what he
know.
said. Yeah, and then he cut
So
all U.S. aid to. He cut all U.S. aid in general. He cut like
yeah.
funding to South Africa.
So mainly what this is affecting the most, honestly, is in South Africa, we still have a major problem with AIDS, HIV and AIDS.
Hmm.
So a lot of the American funding, the aid funding that came to South Africa was geared towards the healthcare sector.
Hmm.
And pulling that funding basically fucked with the jobs and lives of many like doctors and nurses and all that were paid, and equipment and all of the stuff that goes into healthcare geared towards the HIV AIDS problem, which, you know,
Mm. It's really just cruel.
yeah,
It's petty.
17% of the country's HIV AIDS program.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No other
400
significant funding provided.
$453 million, which is 8.5 billion rand, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
8.5 billion rand,
that's
which
fucking
is
a lot of money.
a good chunk of change in our healthcare department.
That is yeah, no, this is
You
like
understand like how massive that is now, like looking at the
yeah.
numbers.
Yeah. And to America, that's Trump change.
GSA Trump change.
Trump change. Whoa.
Anyway, so there's a deeper reason why Trump has major issue with South Africa.
There's a little fucking Elon on his shoulder going, kill them all. Kill them all, Trump.
Elon Musk. But here's the
Ah,
thing.
buddy, kill them all.
Where is Elon Musk getting his information on South Africa?
Well, first of all, let's say what he's saying before we get into
Well,
where he's
he's
saying it from.
so Elon Musk is one of those people pushing the farm murder conspiracy.
The farmer.
Now, I don't know how much, because we haven't spoken about it much offline, but how much do you know about the farm attacks conspiracy?
I know that it is. I know that it's saying that Afrikaners are being murdered by black people and their land is being taken. That's
Yes.
that's what I know about it.
So here's a bit of information, and what I'd like to highlight here: unsubstantiated claims, attacks on farmers disproportionately target whites are key element of the white genocide conspiracy theory and have been a common talking point among white nationalists worldwide.
Yeah, this is like when white supremacists in America talk about like black men roaming the streets raping women.
Well,
Like the
not
same.
just that, but the fact that it's like, oh, there's a concerted effort to kill
Yeah.
white
Yeah,
farmers
that's what I like. Yeah.
and
That's
and
word.
stuff like that. But here's the thing: South Africa has a crime problem. This is this is undeniable. We have a crime problem. This farm attacks thing is not racially motivated. It's criminal in the way that like this is what happens when you live in a place that has major crime.
Mm.
And farms are notoriously hard to police. Number one, they're private property.
They're
They're
huge.
private property that goes on for fucking miles.
Yeah.
How do you police that properly? So they are going to be at risk of crime.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then we sort of come to the fact of who is spreading this shit if it's not true.
That's where we get into the funny, the big funny Afroforum,
Afroforum.
Afroforum.
A
Kloofsig?
non-government
Kloof?
organization focused on the interest of Afrikaners has been described as a white nationalist, alt-right, and Afrikaner nationalist group.
Sounds like a fun time.
So yeah, you can see.
Most boring looking people imaginable, by the way. They don't even look interested to be there. Everyone just looks bored.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are the white supremacists of South Africa, right?
Mm. Zimbabwe.
International lobbying.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, they got a whole section. They
Robert
contested the
Mugabe.
presence of Mugabe at the 2009 inauguration of criminal in charge Jacob Zuma. Now look,
Criminal in charge.
Jacob Zuma is a criminal.
Yeah.
The South African government is incredibly corrupt, as is many things here. This is not a racial problem. This is a government problem.
Yeah, no, this is it's like the same type of thing where they see where like a lot of racists will see something that's an issue with capitalism, go, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. It's like, well,
Yeah,
no, no. Shut up, please.
I mean, here's their criticisms and controversies
Oh my god.
section.
Is it it just keeps going.
You know,
Commando Corps.
white genocide
What is
conspiracy
what is
theory.
Commando Corps? It's down
What
here.
do you say?
The survivalist group Commando Corps criticized Afreform in February 2012, saying that Afreform had not done much to prevent the farm murders. Go down one more paragraph. There. The link. It's a blue link there. The Commando Corps. What is that?
Well, I mean, judging by by
That
the
is the old
flag they're
flag.
using, yeah.
Paramilitary.
It's a paramilitary group.
They use the modern South African flag as a doormat. The camp is located in the veld outside the town of
Felt.
the Veld. The Veld?
That's how. Remember, it's Afrikaans, so the
Oh
V is more of
my
a
god.
sound than a
Is
V
the
sound.
Veld. Veld. At the
Outside the
town of
town of
Carolina.
Carolina.
Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga.
Mpumalanga.
Mpumalanga. Uh, yeah, that's crazy. They've been criticized
So
by Afreform, and they criticized Afreform. These guys have beef.
these guys have beef because the one is trying to be more. They're trying to outracist each other.
this
They're
is
trying
like
to
this is
outracist
like
each
fucking
other.
Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes having the beef because one of them is just
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's exactly that. Because how do I put this? These are people who use terms like reverse racism.
Oh hell yeah.
So but I find it very hard to try and explain this to people, right? Like me just see if I can get the actual numbers here.
Would you look it up? What numbers?
Census data, like up to date census data.
Okay.
So total percentage white, 7.3%.
Wow, that's lower than I thought it was.
7.3% of the people in South Africa are white.
Yeah.
And then they look around and say, oh, but there's so many, like, these people who got into these positions got it because they were black. It's like, no, it's because 80% of the country is black. If you don't see black people working somewhere, there's probably an issue. You know, they are the majority of people here.
Yeah. I'm noticing now also Western Cape doesn't have that many people in it.
Western Cape.
Yeah.
You mean like,
Compared to like KwaZulu Natal, that's like 10 million people there. 15 million, sorry, 10 million black people, 15 million, 12 million. I'm bad at reading graphs. That's 12 million people in KwaZulu Natal, and Western Cape is only 7 million.
yes.
Pretty small.
Look at Northern Cape, though.
In Northern Cape is like nobody.
Northern Cape, 2.2% of the
Nobody
population.
lives there. The most
Yeah,
populous thing.
Gauteng, which kind of does surprise me because geographically it's also one of the smaller provinces,
Yeah, but it's got Johannesburg and fucking Pretoria.
Pretoria,
Pretoria.
which at some point they should rename Pretoria. I am actually behind that.
What would they rename it to? Is there like one that's a name that's constantly thrown around?
Let me see if I can find that information.
Because I'm assuming Pretoria is an Afrikaans name.
Uh, Tshwane,
What'd you say?
Tshwane.
Chwane?
Yeah, I just searched this up. This is what I'm getting.
Oh, okay, Chwane. I could see how. Okay,
Tshwane.
Chwane.
It's already the name of the metropolitan area, so
I love how the AI
it's
overview just got it
actually
wrong. If you go back up. In 2005, South Africa's capital city name was renamed from Pretoria
yeah.
to Tshwane.
Shout out
Shout out
to
to
AI
how
getting
horrible.
things
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, I love that.
But it is actually an interesting. thing is interesting article. Let's go to my
Lists of
province.
renamed places in South Africa. It's a very long list.
Scotcheskloof to Boerkaap, Teslasdal to Tesselaarstad. I don't know. This is meaningless. This is dumb.
They added a second
Zonneblom to
S.
District 6. This seems
Oh,
legit.
isn't District 6 one of those places that got torn down or some shit?
District 6 is historically like what's famous for the sort of historical colored area.
Hmm. I remember
Because,
seeing you sent me the video, the Dan Quarter video, and in it they had a photo of District 6 being like taken down. And I was like,
yeah, so,
I remember that now.
yeah, it was declared a whites only area during apartheid. So they ripped out the local colored population. And now there's a District 6 celebration. Let me see if I can get this. There's cool images of this. The cops are klopse, they called. They go out and they
Wow,
basically do like a party. You know, they dress up funky and colorful and
that's nice.
let me see if I can get a cops are klopse. There we go.
Oh wow,
Look at
this is
this.
really colorful. I
This
like
is
this a
this is
lot.
amazing.
I
They
love
do this
this.
every year. The thing is that this is a celebration of colored culture in Cape Town.
Hey, referencing an old segment of the podcast. I think we talked
The
about
fashion
bashing. I
gift
think we talked about those in the podcast. I don't remember if we
we
did
did
actually.
before. I do believe we did. I have a memory of us doing it.
If we haven't, there's the passion gap.
There is the passion gap. Passion gap.
Ishingip.
But yeah, there's a whole celebration and I absolutely love it. This is
This is
this is
pretty cool.
amazing stuff to see.
Where is District 6?
That's in like Cape Town, in the city
Oh,
of Cape Town. Like
oh,
it's in the sort of metropolitan area.
oh, cool, cool. Have you ever been to this place? Been to the Kapsa
Cops or Klops. I
Klopsa?
have not myself been. Where is it? Yeah.
Little kid. Oh, and your audio isn't
People
playing.
dancing.
You're not playing
I
audio.
mean,
There you go.
On the 2nd of January.
see, it's just news coverage.
Stampy tried to warn you.
That's fabulous, isn't it? That
Yeah,
this person
I
knows
love
that
that.
they're fabulous. And people come out
Yeah,
in droves.
looks
It's
like a lot
just
of
I
fun.
don't generally make my way to the city for just about anything. Like I haven't even been to Pride in Cape Town in years.
That makes me
Ugh,
ugh,
ew.
that makes me worried actually. You got me thinking of Pride now. I'm thinking like my town has already had a lot of issues in the past with Nazis. I don't even know if there will be a Pride event this year. Probably even not with all the shit that's going on. Who knows what'll happen by the time we get to June? Trump's probably gonna make it so that there is no more Pride Month by the time we get there, like officially
Well,
recognized.
I have sources.
Sources.
Yeah, I don't want to dive into the podcast on where I got this information because it may be sensitive information, but a private company has sent out an email the other day, because at times they also do federal contracting, and they're placing the following heritage months and days of awareness practices on hold while they determine how recent executive orders affect them. Flag raising, and site lighting events would often have to do with the LGBTQ flag or lighting the building in rainbow colors. That's not going to be done during awareness months. Heritage Month awareness,
You're gonna have to
Zoom
tell me where you got
backgrounds,
all this,
email
because this
banners.
is
I
like
will tell you where I got this.
okay.
But Zoom backgrounds, email banners, digital signs, those aren't going to be allowed in meetings or Zoom meetings anymore. Executive messages that point out those heritage months and awareness months also no longer allowed in company things.
Really?
Yep.
That's like that's some fucking scary shit.
So it's getting pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty bad. Um, Before we do move too far away from it, I do just want to say, so in short, what's happening is that Afroforum has a bunch of conspiracy theories and incorrect information about reverse racism and all and so forth, as most white supremacists and white nationalists and all of that do. What they then do is contact external news sources like Fox News and
Yeah. Elon Trump.
Elon Trump,
He wishes.
I just accident. That's a Freudian slip of
He
note.
wishes.
But you get what I mean. So
Yeah.
they're feeding information to Elon. I think at one point there was even something that they sent and then it got picked up by Elon Musk, who then tweeted it and then atted both Fox News and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, it was in the Dan Quarter video, and then Tucker Carlson
Yeah,
talked about it on his show back in 2018.
yeah.
He doesn't have his show
So
anymore.
that should give you an idea of who these people are. And if you think that they're doing anything right, you're sorely fucking mistaken.
Yeah, no, this is just the one of a dozen fucking terrorist like terror not at that point yet, but they could easily but like an
I
alt-right
mean,
nationalist group.
they're they're the ones who will put up the old South African flag, kind of like how people in the US would put up
Confederate flag.
the Confederate flag, which is not actually the real Confederate flag
It's
because
the
racists
yeah.
are dumb.
Yeah, no, they never get that one right. That's the fucking because let's be real, it's the more of an actual flag. Oh wait, hold on, never mind. I'm thinking of a different. Okay, the flag I'm thinking of is the one where it's mostly white and then has the old flag there, but that's the flag they had at the end of the war.
Yeah, that was more of a battle banner.
Yeah, the one that they have that conservatives use all the time is like a naval flag. Um, the real flag is
Because this was
basically
the flag.
yeah, that's the flag, and it's basically like the flag of Georgia. Yeah, and then
But what they use
yeah, is the battle
there's a
the
specific
stars and
name for this.
bars.
There's
The
a
stars.
specific name for
The
this.
stars and bars.
No, the a different name. I know it if I hear it.
The stainless banner. Blood-stained banner.
Bloodstained.
Battle flag? I think I know what you're
I
talking
don't
about.
know.
Are you thinking of the Don't Tread on Me with that name? That flag, the fucking I forget that one's the Gadsden flag or some shit. I don't fucking know. What's that one
I
called?
look. I don't know.
I'm the flag nerd. I don't even remember any of this nice trivia.
Either way, it reaches points where putting up that flag in certain context is seen as hate speech here.
It should. It should. It's like literally
And
putting up
it
a Nazi flag.
absolutely is. It is promoting the idea that they preferred things under apartheid.
Yeah. It's literally like putting up a Nazi flag or like putting up like a
Yes.
Confederate flag. Like it is literally a signaling that you're like supporting a fucking a time where it was just fucking racist as shit and it was horrible for people. And it's like, yeah, this is what I celebrate. I'm putting this on my wall. This like, ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
I can't
It
believe
is
I can't believe how many Confederate flags I see in New Jersey of all places, a Union state, and yet they're
a
all fucking
union
over the
state.
place. They're all over the place.
Well, the Confederates have had lots of time since then to spread out.
Yeah, but it's like the whole cope they use now is it's my Southern pride. Motherfucker,
And
New Jersey's not in the South. What are you talking
Yeah, but
about?
also say what you will, it's not like the Union was anti-racism.
No, no, not at all. It wasn't.
Like
Um,
this is a misconception I'd like to just stamp out on the podcast, or at least amongst the podcast here, is that the Union, who was against slavery, were not for necessarily equal rights.
yeah, there was only a small contingent of the population. They were generally like they were generally abolitionist, but they weren't. Well, abolitionist is different than anti-slavery. Anti-slavery generally meant you didn't want to spread slavery. Like you weren't exactly out to end it, but you weren't in favor of it, and politically you would vie for it to like be contained. While abolitionists were like, we need to end this shit. And typically, abolitionists were typically not racist, but the anti-slavery people were pretty much just racist.
Yes.
They had it for religious reasons. Like Abraham Lincoln at the start of the war wasn't an abolitionist. He was anti-slavery. He only
As
became an
far as I
abolitionist
understand,
halfway through the
prior to
war.
the Civil War breaking out, the sort of setup was okay, these are states where there are slaves, and these are states where they aren't slaves.
Yeah.
But we're generally okay with the way of things. And then the
Yeah.
abolitionists obviously pushed the agenda
There
forward to
there
get
were
rid of
always
slavery.
there were always abolitionists, but the thing is there wasn't enough organized of a movement, and the party that would represent them was the Whigs, and the Whigs infamously sucked at winning elections to the point that every single time someone did win, the guy died within 5 months of coming into office.
Yeah.
So like,
There is an aspect of racism which I don't think is spoken about enough.
hmm,
Being raised racist.
yeah, that's kind of like how most people are racist nowadays is through that.
Yeah, but this is a thing in South Africa as well, right? Where maybe less so in the Western Cape, but definitely outside of the Western Cape, tensions are far higher when it comes to race relations. And what you'll find is that there are perfectly good people who, you know, they don't know any different because from the time they're born, all they're told is the racist way of thinking.
That's so relatable. I have family members who are like that too.
Exactly. It's not something specific to South Africa either. It is very much something that you'll find anywhere you'll find racism.
Like you'll talk to the kindest person ever who's got that southern hospitality, and then yeah, they bring you inside. You're all comfy in their home, and it's like, oh, grandma, I love visiting your grandma, and then like, all fine. And then one day she's like, I fucking slur usage. Obama fucking running for
Yeah,
office, and it's like, oh god damn it, grandma, what the fuck? Or here's a more relatable one that's like less extreme. Hanging out with your grandma, and all of a sudden TV comes on, and it's talking about a recent political event, like a tragedy, and it's like, I bet the Chinese were behind this, and it's like, grandma, what the
yeah.
fuck?
It's usually so out of left field, right? Like I think the most perfect example of it right now is the fact that like not to bring up old news stories into this, but when the plane crash happened and the whole idea was like no investigation had been done yet. Nobody had looked into anything. Nobody even knew who was flying the goddamn like helicopter. And people were going, "It's a DEI problem." It's what the
Yeah,
fuck are you talking about? We don't know yet
it's
what caused
it's
anything.
just a way to say the N word. That's
Yes,
all it is.
yes,
Fucking
it's pretty
uh,
bad.
horrible. It's we're kind of at like the death of society.
It feels like it.
Like people are being too uh what's the word? What's the word? Like idiotic on purpose, ignorant. Like people are being they're purposely ignorant, willingly ignorant, willful ignorance. That's the word.
Willful ignorance, which is actually my biggest fucking pet peeve as a human
Same,
being is
same.
I hate
I hate it
willful
so
ignorance
much.
more than anything. I actually like it when people can tell me, "Hey, you're wrong on these aspects, and here's why." And then I learn something.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
I highly appreciate when people can point out to me and say, "You've got this wrong."
It
Because I do.
almost
I get a lot of things wrong. I'm by
yeah.
no means,
Every human
like,
does that.
perfect on that. But the woeful ignorance of, like, "Oh, it wasn't a Nazi salute. It was
It was just a
something else," or
it was a
he was
hand
just
gesture.
this.
It
It
was
was
an anonymous
a
hand
hand
gesture.
gesture, and all of the different bullshit that people come up with. It's like, you know what a Nazi salute is. You're just
You're just being paid to not say it.
at this point, it's not even paid because the amount. Look, I've been listening to a lot of the political stuff, of course, because it's flooding everything now. But what I'm finding is that there are so many instances of mask off moments from the alt-right believers.
Did you see that Nancy Mace
Yeah.
just shouted this like the T slur like 5 times in Congress and nobody said anything
Yes.
about it? Like just what the
Yes.
fuck?
Yes.
It's that type of shit everywhere
It's
and nobody
mask
covers
off
it.
because what was it? There was also another clip I saw. I'm not even gonna bring it up,
Yeah, no, these are
like,
like
to show
slurs and
people,
shit. This is horrible shit. I don't want to bring it up.
but it wasn't even slurs. It was somebody who was saying, "I don't even care that, fathers are being ripped away from children,
Oh,
these
that was JD
subhuman
Vance.
people."
That was JD Vance.
No, it wasn't JD Van. It was a
He
woman.
Oh, well, JD Vance also said that.
Yeah, but I'm referring to a specific clip where a woman who is a MAGA supporter was saying, I'm happy that these fathers are being ripped away from their children. I'm happy that they're being thrown out of the country because they're subhuman." And there's what I'm
Completely
referring to
disgusting.
basically is this widespread mask off moments from people who are supportive of this stuff. And it's so ugly that, look, America was probably more systemically racist during the Clinton years
Yeah.
than, recently under Biden, for example.
Yeah, marginally.
Because from Clinton to Biden, many things were put in place to prevent that racism.
Yeah, affirmative action is from before then, but there was like more of like support for it. There was more of like an initiatives in charge for
Initiatives
like the
and
DEI
things.
stuff was a legitimate like step forward in some ways of
Yeah, so there were
yeah.
always attempts to improve the situation, right?
Mhm.
But back then, it was very much dog whistled more than anything. Whereas now it just feels like open casual racism is accepted. Calling people subhuman is now an acceptable form of discourse, and it's fucking evil.
It's terrifying. It's it's one of those things that like it feels like we're just in a downward spiral that just gets more we're just getting deeper and deeper and deeper down this spiral of just people being willfully ignorant and people uh increasingly becoming more violent. And it's just this environment that's being created out of that is terrifying.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
don't feel safe.
because eventually, to bring it back to that same poem, you know, eventually they will come for you.
Yeah, and it's I don't want to think about it, but I should be, and it's like
Like, I don't mean you
Uh,
personally, but in the grander sense of all these people who believe these things. Like, a lot of people who voted for Trump are being deported now.
that
People
is
who were
unironically
married
true.
to Trump supporters are being deported.
Yeah,
You
and
know, the parents of MAGA supporters are being deported.
eventually, it'll get down to like alcoholics and fucking mentally deficient people like the Nazis had.
What do you mean? Alcoholics get fucking promoted. Have you not seen Hegseth?
Well, the
What's it,
Nazi
Pete, right?
Pete
Pete,
Hegseth, yeah.
Pete,
Well,
Pete Hegseth.
one of the first victims of the Nazis were actually alcoholics.
But they all drank.
They did all drink, but they considered
And they were
themselves
all
to
meth
be
heads.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm talking about alcoholics who were in like psych wards and shit because they went into the psychiatric facilities and
Yeah.
just had doctors take people off of life support, euthanize people, lobotomize people.
But just to tie these two groups together again, like we all know now, looking back in history, that the Nazis were all busy doing meth.
Yeah, they were meth heads. They
During
were drunks.
Trump's Yeah, but during Trump's first administration, it was an open secret that most of the people in the cabinet and all the way to the top were busy taking speed,
Yeah.
pharmaceutical speed.
I mean, to an extent, I feel a lot of public figures take stimulants uh because you got to stay awake and shit. So like I feel like taking speed is probably more common than we think. That's also why a lot of people do cocaine and like entertainment industry and stuff is because it makes you fucking energized.
Also gives you confidence,
Yes.
blind confidence,
Yeah.
which is blind confidence is not something that anybody
One
should
of
really invest in.
the Chris Farley like his last on-screen appearance was him fucking blasted on coke, running out into a theater and going wah up and down the aisles, and then he died like the next day or some shit. Uh, just fucking like he was like doing like he was trying to do flips and shit. I think about that a lot. Uh, but yeah, no, like it's fucked out there.
It is pretty bad.
It's pretty
Look,
fucking bad.
I'm just going to say once again, I am somebody who doesn't think that doing drugs from time to time should be criminalized the way it is, but it's definitely not a lifestyle I advocate for. And I don't think that you should be doing mind-altering drugs while in charge of important and sensitive things, like the government.
Unless it's like DMT. Don't don't you want a president to do DMT and film it and stuff?
Oh, I don't
You
know.
know Trump has done DMT.
If a president was doing drugs, I'd honestly I just hope it was something like acid
Until 2025.
under 2025. God, no.
uh
I'm still hopeful that maybe AOC will run.
she can't. Um
She can.
well no she can't win in the sense that the Democrats won't let her. She can run
There's
independent
that.
for sure, but she's not getting the nomination.
She is
Not
of
in
age,
2028.
though.
I think she is recently, yeah. You have to be like
She's
30.
35.
I thought you had to be 36.
She would be 36
I
by then.
Yeah, I know, but how old do you have to run for president?
35.
35. Oh, yeah. So she is eligible for the run for president. Who is the youngest president? I'm pretty sure it's Kennedy. Or it might be Teddy Roosevelt because he wasn't elected. Yeah, the youngest president was Teddy Roosevelt at 42, and Donald Trump is the oldest inaugurated. So this is by the date of when they were inaugurated, not when the oldest that they were. Because like otherwise, Biden or Reagan, one of those two would be the oldest. Because I forget actually.
Yeah, but at inauguration is the important one, right?
Yeah,
But
ad inauguration.
I'm hopeful. Look, I don't hope for it in a sort of realistic way of like, oh, it's gonna be AOC 2025. I'm not the one who's gonna drive that narrative, but at the same time, internally, I'm just hopeful because I do think that that would be the best for the US, honestly.
Yeah.
Because look how many Trump people. This was a weird statistic for me during the election, but how many people voted for both AOC and Trump?
Is that a statistic we know of, or are you just like
I
where'd you hear
mean,
that?
I just seen discourse on it, but I can see if I can look that up.
Because are you talking about like a council map of her district, and then like the same heat map for like, oh, here's how many votes were for AOC, and in that same district, here's how many votes for Trump? Because
Uh,
I feel like that's more so people who voted for AOC didn't vote for president. But also, I can
uh,
see it as people want change, and the only person who's giving any sort of narrative for change is Trump, even if his narrative is bad. It's still a narrative. You need people with a narrative, and the
yeah.
Democrats don't platform people who have narratives. And the thing with AOC is,
So
I think she has too much bad press to run for president because the Republicans have so much against her, and she's a woman, and that just kind of hampers her. Like America is a deeply sexist country. Like we've seen that. Trump looks like a pear, also, by the way, in that photo.
Trump
Doesn't he look like a
seen
pear?
here demonstrating his double hand job method technique.
God, Barron is fucking huge. He's so tall. He's a fucking giant. His Look at how long his suit is. Look at how long that tie is. It's
Yes.
a rope.
But
Wait, hold on. Go
you
scroll down.
know,
Scroll down. I saw a quote that I don't want to read there. Trump is yeah, wrote this on the screen. Trump is not a career politician and changes the system, and AOC is doing that in a different way. Their approach and philosophies and values are deeply different, but they represent a change from the status quo, and the voters are rejecting. Yeah, it's exactly what I was describing. That's from Jasmine Gripper, co-director of the New York Working Families Party.
yeah, but this is basically what I'm talking about, where people who voted for Trump as president also supported AOC, for Congress. So
Yeah,
there's definitely a lean away from the status quo. So you say a thing like the Democrats will stop her, but if she does what Bernie should have done and runs independent, that might just boost their chances, not lower them.
the thing is, there's so much money behind the Democrats that they can bury someone who's independent. The reason why RFK made it as far as he did is because he was being funded by Republicans as a spoiler for the Democrats.
Yes.
That's the only reason why RFK made it that far is because he had the money backing of big people. AOC wouldn't have the
I'll
money
say a
backing.
secondary aspect of that is purely the name.
That is true
Purely
also.
that he carries the
he
Kennedy
he was a
name.
Kennedy, and he had the backing of a lot of big donors, and he was a spoiler candidate by the Republicans for the Democrats. So he had a lot of backing to him. The last time a third party candidate made it big was Ross Perot in the 90s, and he also had big money backers because he was like a libertarian, but also like not really. So he had like backing of like financial people and stuff, like finance kind of bros. So like you need money to be to be a candidate, and if you're running independent, you need to have the backing of like corporate interests. And AOC would not have that. Bernie would not have that. It's why the Democrat apparatus would be the best place for them to be, is because the Democrats are as horrible as they are at platforming people. They would be the best platform to have. You just need to
But in the
reform the
modern day,
Democratic party.
now post 2024 election, as you say, AOC has a lot of bad press thrown at her from the Republicans, but
Hmm.
as a whole, the Democrats are hated by people who voted Democrat
Yeah,
at this point
I
because they're
think
showing themselves to be weak, ineffectual, spineless.
what needs to happen is honestly a complete. The only I think about this for the whole country, but what needs to happen is just like hold down the reset button and fucking start from scratch. like factory wipe the fucking computer level shit right now. Like we need to fucking we need our fucking new 52 over here. we need to like remake this shit. We need to start.
But considering the ones who hold the political power in today's age, do you want those people writing, for example, a new
No.
constitution?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like we need to get rid of literally like we need to get rid of literally everything we have right now. Like that's the ideal right now.
Fucking accelerationist.
Well, I mean, not accelerationist. An accelerationist wants to bring about bad outcomes in the hope that their ideology, like the ideology that
The
they consider to be
complete
good.
collapse and removal of your current political system is that, right?
No, it's revolutionary, not accelerationism is like bring on the gas chambers. It's the only way to get things good. Like what I need is just like a topple. Like just turn it over. You know, I don't
Or
need
like
like
a
or-
friend of ours who said it needs to be like a French Revolution sort of.
yeah, like unironically we don't even need to be like we need like a South Africa. I'm gonna pull your country. We need like a
Okay.
fucking complete rewrite of the government and a complete change of political organization. Not in the same way as South Africa, not in the same context, but we need that. We need just a complete change from scratch. We need that throughout the entire world. Like it is like it's like when you when I was working on the best of video, there was a point in that project where I would open it up and there'd be a million things and all of it was like, oh, well, here's before I learned this technique and it's still in that way of doing this. And then I learned a new technique and now this section of it's in a new way and it's running like shit because I have so many fucking sources opened and it's horrible and it's unoptimized as hell that at a certain point I just had to restart. You just need to do that. Like right now, America is like that. There's so many different things that are going on. It's running like
Bring
shit.
back the wigs.
We need to bring back the wigs. Um, wigs today would see what's going on and go, the fuck? What the fuck are you doing?
Seppuku.
What the fuck is this shit? Not even
Seppuku.
they. I think the average wig from back then would be like, where wait you're telling me that the blacks have voting rights? Wait, no.
Either way, considering
I'm
that things are
lightheaded.
going a mile a minute in politics, that's about really as far as we can go with it because, oh my goodness, even as we record the podcast, Trump is probably saying something awful again.
Yeah, I don't want to open up the news articles right now because I feel like I'm gonna open it up and be like Trump outlaws life, and it's just like, oh, okay. Trump signs
Yeah,
executive order. Trump signs
Trump
executive
signs
order
again.
to privatize all water.
I mean, he's dumping water into the fucking ocean.
Yeah, he broke that like reservoir down in California that they were using for farming and shit.
So
He's
ineffectual.
so fucking horrible. He's literally like probably he is unironically the worst president we've ever had in like just 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's shocking.
It's
I mean,
insane.
what was the thing? One of the things I heard today was he was dismantling
The Department of Education.
something, dismantling the Department of Education, but he was also dismantling something that was put together because of Watergate.
Yeah, not surprising. I haven't heard of that one, but that's not surprising.
Like
I'm ass-
these federal investigators and
yeah,
federal
I'm assuming that one's an FBI.
safeguards were put in place after Watergate to prevent uh, abuse of power by the president.
Oh wow.
And now Trump is removing those things.
Oh
So
wow. That's not dictatorial at all. No, don't look here. It's no wonder though that I haven't seen a million headlines over that one.
yeah,
I
but
wonder
he's
why.
also suing multiple media networks. He like at some point you just have to admit that the USA could look like North Korea in a year.
I don't think we're gonna look like North Korea. I think we're gonna look like
As far as state media
oh,
and
yeah, with state media wise, there's going to be state media and it's going to be pumped down our throats. But I think in terms of like what the country's gonna look like, it's gonna look like Hungary. It's gonna look like Turkey.
yeah, but I'm just talking about in the way of like any dictatorship, any authoritarian dictatorship with state media and things like that. I mean, you have so many controls. You can't do certain things on the internet. You can't access certain things on the internet in certain places because of Republican laws
Yeah, I'm pretty
in
sure
those
like isn't
states.
Pornhub illegal in Texas still?
It's not that Pornhub is illegal. It's that the state has said that in order to access those sites, you need to
Oh,
put in a form of identification,
that's what it
which
is.
essentially doxes the users.
Yeah,
So Pornhub has decided instead of instituting that on their website, they're just not going to serve that
Texas.
part of the country.
That's what it was. Yeah, not illegal. It was.
So at some point, like what happened to free speech? What happened to land of the free, home of the brave? What happened to
What
you
happened to
could do
truth,
anything in
justice?
America?
What's so funny
Like,
about truth, justice, and the American way? Second
you
DC
know,
reference I've made.
so we are heading towards a time where everybody will scream free speech until somebody actually tries to speak freely.
Yeah, no, Republicans don't actually fucking believe in free speech. They believe in their speech.
Yes.
One of my favorite things recently has been being on campus and having all of my history professors rant about how bad Trump is, and like how bad it is right now. Like even the professor who's like, I'm not that politically inclined, um, which I feel like he's kind of coping with that. He's absolutely politically inclined considering how much he's ranted. He literally last class we were in, he ranted for the entire hour 15 minutes about how systemic racism never left and how the country's fucked and how bad everything is. And it's like, dude, you're not political?
You know, we are currently living in a time where I don't think it's possible to be apolitical anymore.
I don't think anyone was ever able to be apolitical, but I think it was just different levels of being able to get away with it. Like during the Clinton years, I feel like you could get away with being like, "Oh, I'm not very political," and it's like, yeah, you don't watch fucking news, you don't pay attention to shit, and you don't have any opinions on NAFTA. Cool, you're not political. Now it's like, yeah, everyone's fucking influenced by politics in some sort of way.
But it's
You
not
can't
even
hide it.
necessarily influenced by politics as much as because this is much more true in the US, but because the politics are now saying things like, you know, Idaho trying to ban the whole idea of gay marriage in their state. You know, even if you were married out of state, they're not going to recognize it in state, right?
Vile.
Vile, but you can't remain apolitical anymore because your everyday life is now being policed by your politics.
Yeah, everyone's
Where
becoming like
you
a
can,
legitimate victim
where you can,
by the
yeah,
government.
where you can look for a job, what kind of work certain people can do, where you can live, how you can live. All of this stuff is now politicized. Whereas previously it was like, yeah, we're apolitical, these things we don't agree with, da 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 da. But it was, you know, like the old line that I heard from Jello Biafra, lead singer of the Dead Kennedys,
Right.
where he said it's a one party state masquerading as a two party state because it was essentially no matter who you voted for, it was more or less the same across the board. They were both bought in by business assets and all of that.
Right. Gotta
I
say though,
mean,
side note,
far more oligarchical now
side
under
note,
Trump. Yes.
I love the Dead
I mean,
Kennedys.
who doesn't?
I just wanted to say that so it's known.
California,
Bananas.
actually, not even the song that I would bring up. What's
I
the other one? It's
police
a
truck
holiday in
in
Cambodia.
Cambodia with a police are dressed in black. A holiday in Cambodia. I like police truck a lot. Anyway, this is off topic.
It is off topic. Speaking of off topic, let's get off this topic.
Yeah. Let's get off this topic. Before
And
actually, hold on.
ironically, they did have.
Actually, I
Yeah.
want to say before we get there, I want to tell you this. I saw it earlier when we were looking at the thing in District 6. I saw it on the YouTube thing on the sidebar. I just want you to know this. They're making another Jurassic World movie.
Fucking kill me. I don't. No, I'm not engaging.
It's
Nope. Nope. You
so
can't pull me in. You can't pull me
no,
in. I
I
never liked
am
Jurassic Park. I never
Jurassic.
got
Okay,
into any of the Jurassic stuff. Look,
Jurassic.
Jurassic Park is a classic film. I won't take away from that.
It's
It
my.
had a
It's like
very
one of
good
my favorite
cast.
movies
It holds
ever.
up today. I'm not going to dispute or disparage the movie in any way, but I
I
don't fucking care.
despise the Jurassic World movies. They're so bad.
Everything beyond Jurassic 2, like the 90s, Jurassic Park 2, like
Yeah.
everything since then is trash and nobody can convince me
Well,
otherwise.
Jurassic Park 3 is funny. Jurassic Park 3 is very funny. Like it's a very dumb movie, and it has a few good scenes. But
Yeah.
Jurassic World
How
is
do you
bad.
know me?
You don't like the dumb funny. You like you don't like wasting your time
Smart
with dumb
funny.
funny. Yeah, you like smart funny. You don't like it when things are funny on accident.
Well, I mean, funny on accident isn't bad,
But
but
funny
having
because it's bad.
intentionality behind it, you know, makes it better.
There's a plot line in Jurassic Park 3 where the satellite phone gets eaten by the Spinosaurus and they hear it ringing as if it's perfectly normal, but then they turn around and it's in the Spinosaurus's stomach. And it's like and it's like perfectly ringing like nothing's the matter, but it's inside the stomach of
It's
a giant
inside of a
monster. And it's
dinosaur.
like
It's
staring
so
right at
dumb.
them. It's staring at them for comedic relief. Like it's such a bad movie.
Yeah, you see, it's no thoughtfulness behind that. No thoughtfulness behind that. It's just
It's really funny though.
it's the thought of, oh, wouldn't it be funny if the phone rang and they turned around and the phone was in the belly of a dinosaur? Like,
The movie came
but
out
how
in
would that work?
2003, I
It
think.
wouldn't.
It's a very 2003 joke.
There were good things in the 2000s. I was there.
Me, I was born in the 2000s.
Don't remind me.
You know, I also was born in 2000s. Rooster Teeth. There we go.
Rooster
Now we're
Teeth.
transitioning to it. I ruined Jade's
Now we're
first. I ruined
transitioning.
Jade's original transition. That was really good with off topic. But
That
we're
wasn't
talking.
their best. That wasn't their best product. It wasn't bad actually.
No, I never. I watched a few episodes of off topic, but Rooster Teeth very special
They're
to me
back.
and Jade. Yeah, they're back. Last year in
Ish.
March, they shut down. Rooster Teeth. I think I kind of want to go over the whole history of
Do
Rooster
you
Teeth
have
here.
the promo video?
I do,
Do you
but
have it
I
ready?
want to save it. I want to save it because I actually kind of want to bring up Rooster Teeth and go over a brief history of like a brief history of um like how like the time frame of what happened when they got sold, when they shut down. So like they existed. They started in 2003, a year before I was born. They started with Red versus Blue. Everyone knows Red versus Blue. It's the oldest and the longest running
Yes,
web series online.
they were all friends who started recording the Red versus Blue episodes, playing
Yeah,
Halo multiplayer, like
yeah.
at Bernie's house or apartment.
I
It
think
was
it was
Bernie's
Bernie's
apartment,
house. Yeah, Bernie's apartment.
and
Bernie Burns, Matt Hullum,
their
Jeff
first
Ramsey.
episodes were hosted
Yes,
on
Jason.
their company
Cool.
server
Yeah,
where they work.
yeah,
Like this was pre-YouTube. YouTube launched in 2005, by the way.
yeah.
Just
A year
for
after
those
it.
interested, this is 2002
Three.
and YouTube started in 2005. So this is very much a pre-YouTube thing.
Yeah,
Going viral pre-YouTube, you have to admit,
pretty good.
pretty good.
Pretty good. Um, they fucking they defined a lot of really early internet humor and like internet culture with like Red versus Blue and a lot of the other stuff
They
they
were
do.
one of the first widely known machinima productions
Yeah,
on the internet and the longest running sci-fi web series on the internet.
web series in
I
general.
think they still hold that.
Web series in general, not even sci-fi. Web series in general. Um, yeah. Red versus Blue is huge. They have a bunch of other shows like Ruby, which is really, really popular. I think Red versus Blue is their most important, but I think Ruby's the one that's escaped their bubble the most. Like people who don't care
Yes,
about Rooster Teeth like Ruby. Um,
but Ruby is no longer,
Ruby is no longer
like,
owned by
even
them.
before they crashed out,
They sold off
Ruby
Ruby.
was
Uh,
sold off and became
they
something on its
yeah,
own.
they sold it to Viz Media, who's like a big anime manga conglomerate. Um, they uh they do like
On a
the One
side
Piece
note,
manga.
just to discuss the actual name, do you know where the name Rooster
Cockbite,
Teeth comes from?
cockbite,
Cockbite.
yeah, cockbite.
An insult thrown by one character to another in the Red versus Blue show.
Yeah. Um,
Fucking cockbite.
cockbite. Yeah, but the thing that I actually get little chills of when I think about Achievement Hunter, sorry, sorry, I said it wrong. When I think about Rooster Teeth is Achievement Hunter,
Jumping ahead
is
there.
I was a bit jumping ahead there. I know. I want to note, Achievement Hunter and is a lot more important to me and Jade than Rooster Teeth itself is. Um,
Yes, I would say that.
because like I
Achievement
love,
Hunter as a split off. They're basically like a subsidiary, like a
yeah,
they weren't what I would consider
a
core
subsidy,
Rooster
yeah,
Teeth,
yeah.
but it
They
was
were like
Jeff
it was a
Ramsey.
side project by Jeff and Jack to just make videos about achievements in games, and then it became like the Let's Play video game side of Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they didn't invent Let's Play as a
No.
concept,
No.
but they were early enough in it to actually have the Let's Play channel on YouTube.
Yeah, if you type in Let's Play on YouTube, you get their YouTube channel. Like you get their channel. This is their
This is
channel.
I'm not seeing any. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. There we are.
Yeah, their most popular video is their first Minecraft video, which I actually went back. You can see all the red lines here. I did, in fact, actually go back and watch every single Minecraft video they made.
Fucking nerd.
I have not ashamed of that. It's all the early Minecraft videos. But yeah, these people, their style of comedy, the
Oh,
most.
Jeff. What a guy.
I want to see if I can find a photo of Ray on here. I don't think I can.
I don't think so. Did
But I
you
probably
find a
can
photo of
if
Ray?
they talk about him somewhere here. I'm
I saw
sure.
his name under employment growth
Here.
in the third
Oh,
paragraph.
they don't have a.
There.
Yeah, they
Community
don't.
member Ray Narvaez Jr. hired April 2012.
This is Jade's inspiration. He doesn't have a
This
Wikipedia
this
article.
he is a big inspiration for me starting like online sort of content stuff. He was a big inspiration because his story is actually pretty amazing. Where he was just a guy who enjoyed playing video games and were kind of funny, and made his entire life career out of that.
Yeah.
Like technically, Jeff started as a voice actor.
We started
You
in
know,
Rooster Teeth as a
technically,
voice actor.
yeah.
Yeah. Um. But yeah.
Bertie Burns, Joel Heyman,
Yeah.
Matt
Well,
Hullum.
Joel Heyman's an interesting guy. Joel Heyman.
Joel Heyman's
It'll
Joel
probably
Joel
say.
Heyman's Joel Heyman's not a great guy.
Yeah. I don't think it'll actually
He
say it
was
on
in
its
Friends.
Wikipedia. He was in Friends. Yeah. He was an angel.
Yeah, he was basically uh to the side of the screen character in quite a few Star Trek Enterprise. My God, motherfucker was in Star Trek in the
911
bad
operator
series of
Joel.
Star Trek, of course.
Yeah, but here's where he's known for. He's Caboose.
Caboose.
Caboose. Yeah. So I just want to say they made a Laser Team 2. I completely forgot about that. They did not talk
They
about
made
this
a
one.
laser team.
They they
They
made they
made a laser team too.
they talked about so much about Laser Team, but I never heard anything about Laser Team 2. And this is when I was like a really big fan of Achievement Hunter still. So like this is before I stopped watching Achievement Hunter in 2020. This
Did
is this
they
was this was
did
like
they bury the sort of marketing on Laser Team 2 because it was
because it
like,
was a bad movie. Yeah.
but I mean the first one was a bad movie. Look, I loved Laser Team because I was somebody
Yeah.
who followed Rooster Teeth for a long time, like
Hmm.
from basically the pre-YouTube sort
Strangerhood.
of era. This was also early fucking
this
Rooster Teeth.
this is ancient Rooster Teeth. 2004 to 2006. I was 2 days old when this started.
Oh my god.
I was in the hospital with fucking with fucking what is the placenta on me.
I was 13. 13.
The dynamic is
Fucking shoot
insane.
me.
Anyway, we're a
Shoot
little
me.
off topic. So in like 20, hold on.
Da, da, da,
Da,
da.
da, 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 da. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, in 2019 I got bought by Warner Media. And that was kind of around the beginning of the end because that's at this time that a bunch of people
I
started
became
getting fired.
corporatized.
A lot of people started getting outed as sexual predators, including
Oh,
this guy,
yeah, that guy.
that guy,
That guy.
who
Fuck that
was
guy.
as a kid around this time he was my favorite of the guys, and that really fucking is disgusting. But now my favorite is Jeff or Michael because you got to represent Jersey.
You
Um,
gotta
got
represent
to represent
Jersey.
Jersey.
I
Anyway,
will say, when I was younger, I was probably a bigger fan of Ray, but as I've grown older, Jeff is just it. Jeff is just it. Jeff is such a soulful motherfucker.
yeah, he really is just like a
He
nice,
was more
seems to be a nice guy.
human and sincere with everything he did under Achievement Hunter, under Rooster Teeth, under all of it, than a lot of even the best people at Rooster Teeth. I feel like he was the one who
Yeah,
was
he
most
was the heart. He was the heart.
sincerely himself.
He said in that podcast you linked me where he was on, it was Bernie's podcast that he guested on. He said that if Rooster Teeth had not shut down, he would have stayed there until he died, even though it was like a detriment to his health, like his mental health of being there.
Yeah. I mean, I looked up, if you go to his, I think if you go to his Wikipedia page, it has some like really fucking heartbreaking moments where it's like, oh, on the Minecraft Let's Play, he announced his divorce. It's like, this is the kind of guy he was. He was just who he was online. He was just
Yeah,
himself.
on a Let's Play channel on YouTube. I remember that.
Can you imagine being so fucking, I don't know, that to me is just kind of a sad moment. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Imagine having your fucking divorce announced on the Let's Play channel.
just
Jeff, I feel for you,
yeah.
man. I feel for you.
I think hardcore
You
mini
are,
golf. Sorry, you continue with your sentence.
I was just gonna say, he is just a good soul.
He really is. I was gonna say this was. I think this is the last thing I watched of Rooster Teeth before I left, and I only watched episode 1 of it. It was pretty fun. Like they just basically played mini golf, but everyone had crazy costumes, and there was a lot of like little bits going on, and I thought it was fun. But it was like around the time that Ryan Haywood had his whole fucking expose, and it's like I don't want to be here anymore. A lot of the original people weren't there as often because they were just sad, sad people
Yeah,
now. But they got bought up by Warner. Um, and then when the time came, uh, when they were on their last legs, they sold off Ruby and Genlock, which was like their last big show. Um, it had Michael B. Jordan in it, which is
yeah.
kind of crazy. That's fucking Creed. That's Killmonger, dude. It's Johnny Storm. David Tennant was in this.
David Tennant, Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, Dakota Fanning.
There's a lot of people in this. Who's Gray Haddock again? He's the guy who made the show. Who did he
He's a
played
Rooster Teeth
Locus and
guy.
Roman in these shows. That's where I recognize the name is because of Ruby. There's Ruby.
Yeah, he's a Rooster Teeth guy.
Yeah. Um yeah, so they sold off their big popular franchises. I think they kept Red versus Blue. Gauged the interests, yeah. Ruby was sold to Viz, and then yeah, they shut down. So after that, recently, February 5th, so fucking yesterday, they posted this to the YouTube channel that had
Oh,
been
we have to watch this.
they
We
posted
have to
this
watch
to the YouTube
this.
channel that had been hold on, first for context, this channel had been dormant for 8 months. 8 months. Uh
8 months.
wait, did they seriously post? What is this? RVB Restoration 2024? What is this? What I don't but yeah. They had the Why We're Here video. This video is hard to watch. This had Jeff crying. He had to do the thing that kids do where they put on sunglasses to show that their eyes aren't as fucking teary. I had to do that a lot.
Jeff's had so many moments fucking bawling his eyes out for the camera
Yeah.
over the
There's
years.
many.
Like, I mean, even post uh after the sort of fallout of the Predators and stuff, there was also a moment with racial and sexist
Yes.
things that came out.
Yeah.
Basically, where they
Mika
accused
Burton was a victim, and a bunch of other people.
Mika Burton, yeah, and Jeff came out and basically personally apologized because he's just that kind of person.
Like yeah,
Gotta love Jeff.
he took on the response. He took it as like he himself was like he's Rooster Teeth, so it's like, well fuck, if these people were being harmed at Rooster Teeth, then that's like my responsibility. I failed all of you. Like, come on, Jeff, we know we're sorry. It's like
What a good, such a softie.
yeah. So they
You wouldn't
posted
believe he was a military
you would
guy.
not at all, no. So here's their video that was posted for the first time in 8 months. And here it is. This is their old studio, stage
Stage
5.
5.
Guys, why are the lights off? I'm back from getting milk. What the hell happened?
I think that is a damn good line.
That is a damn good
It
line.
takes me back to like the early comedy of Bruce Teeth.
It does. It's
Back from
it's
getting
pretty good.
milk.
Back from getting milk.
Because here's the thing we haven't mentioned, right? Is that Bernie Burns is historically the Rooster Teeth guy.
Yeah.
He was the one that made it into a company. He was the one that was at the head of the company. But long before they crashed out, even before the beginning of the crash out, he had stepped down as CEO. He had stepped
Yeah.
back from a lot of things.
He retired from the company um like 2015 or something, like a long time ago.
Yeah, so he was already like fading out of Rooster Teeth long before the actual crash outs really started happening. As far as I know, he put Matt Hullum in as CEO after
Oh, it was
himself.
2019. Yeah, it was I believe no, Matt Holm was the CEO.
After
No, he
him.
was no. hold on. It's hard to tell because hold on, I could probably see it on the Rooster Teeth site. Because Matt Holm was CEO for a while. Like he was
Yes,
CEO for a lot of it.
that's what I mean by
yeah.
like Bernie founded, and was
Oh yes, yes,
CEO
yes, yes.
for the whole beginning period, and then
For the
the
bulk
first
of its
step was
life,
him. He stepped down as CEO,
it was
and it
Matt Holm. I
became
probably
Matt
find it.
Hullum.
Yeah.
Then he took over a bigger side of the creative,
Yeah.
right?
He was an executive
And
producer.
then
Yeah.
and then he started stepping down from that, and then he started like, doing his own thing away from Rooster Teeth completely, and then pulled out. Basically, as you say, he retired from Rooster Teeth,
Mm-hmm.
which came much later. But I mean, now that he's back, it really is that idea of, guys,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
back.
forgetting both.
Because it was really kind of like after he left, I consider that to be around the time. It's around the same time that Rooster Teeth got really corporatized and flat and stale, and a lot of the people working there retired, and it was just a big bloated mess. Nobody was really like there's a lot of issues, all the issues going on, and then he comes back and he buys the rights to the brand of Rooster Teeth, so the Rooster Teeth brand. He buys it back. I think he also has Red versus Blue back. I think because I don't think they ever sold it off. I still think it was part of Rooster Teeth. I don't know. I know they don't have
I
Ruby. They don't have Ruby. They don't have
I
Genlock.
can't be sure, but I feel like separating Rooster Teeth and Red versus Blue would just be bad. Like conceptually.
I
Like if
don't.
you wanted the rights to Red versus Blue, you would need to buy Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think they lost Red versus Blue. Um, so I kind of want to bring up the specific statements, but I actually didn't prepare the tweet for this, so I have to actually find the tweet real quick. Hold on, it's not that hard to find. I could just go. There was a specific one that now that it's being covered by fucking everything. Maybe it'll say on the roosterteeth.com.
It's just gonna have
Yeah.
the press release.
Yeah, whatever. I guess the one I saw last night. Oh, maybe this is it. Oh, that's a fucking email. I'm
It's
so
an
stupid.
email address.
I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Who's blowing up my Discord messages? It's Nibble. Rooster Teeth to find. All right, so press release. What the fuck? Rooster Teeth to find new home with the brand's original creator. 9 months ago, Rooster Teeth announced that it would shut its doors 21 years after creating. Okay. Founded it. Vox Media. It shows like Ruby. I'm excited. I am excited to challenge of bringing. I'm excited at the challenge of bringing Rooster Teeth back to its roots. The heart of its brand has always been its fans, and I look forward to writing the new chapter together. Fuck. Well, anyway, they specifically said it in one fucking interview. I can't find it, or like one press. It was the initial press statement. It was like the initial thing said. They said that they would be coming back with some old shows coming back. They said there was, quote, a new audio adventure, which is a weird thing to say, but I assume they mean a podcast.
Yeah, I assume that RT podcast will live again.
Maybe the use of an adventure relates to RTAA. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then they said that they were going to be remaking Bernie and Matt's first film they ever made, which I forget the name of it, but it's from like 1999. The film here, the schedule, yeah, they're remaking this from 1997.
The schedule.
So, Minecraft, the story of Mojang. It's a documentary.
The story of
Where he
Mojang.
appeared as nothing. He was just an executive producer. Laser Team 2, a heist with Markiplier. So yeah, they plan.
But I'll be honest, and I've already told you this off the podcast, but my real interest that'll bring me back to Rooster Teeth
Is Jeff.
Is if Jeff signs on.
I don't think he will. I don't know if he will. I think with Bernie at the head, it's more likely than not, but he said in that one podcast that I watched last night that it was a lot of strain on his mental health, but maybe with it being a smaller team and back to roots, maybe he's more likely to come out. I
Back
have no
to its
idea.
roots.
I have no idea.
Jeff, I would like to see Gus come back just because
Gus is wonderful. We didn't
the
mention him
the
much.
the interplay between Gus and Bernie was always entertaining to watch.
They're great. Like they're real friends.
Yeah, but they would bounce off each other well,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
they were friends, but they were so very different in their own way that it created an interesting interplay between them.
Why the fuck does it say fate? Not like status. It just says fate. That's an extremely funny way to word it. Like it's, what is your fate? Closed.
Do you know who I hope they don't ever fucking bring back?
Joel.
I mean, Joel, yeah, but the people who were writing for Ruby, I forget their names.
Miles Luna and Carrie Shawcross.
Yes, I hope that they never touch those people again.
Let's talk about Ruby then. Let's talk about Ruby.
No, Ruby was meant to be good, and then it feels like every decision they made was bad. Because here's my opinion of what went wrong. You can tell me if you agree with my perspective or not. Monty Ohm, may he rest in peace, that beautiful motherfucker. Monty Ohm was great with his animation. He had a beautiful sort of creative mind. And the biggest mistake they made was handing the actual writing to Miles and Carrie.
I think it's safe to call them nitwits.
Yes.
Like they're
idiots.
They're not
awful.
good writers. I'm pretty sure it was
I don't
their
think they're
first,
good people.
I'm pretty sure it was their first writing credit too.
Yes. They'd never written anything of meaning before that in their lives.
For context of what these two guys were like, they voiced self-insert characters that would date the characters in the show. And a lot of
These
the
were
stuff
guys
they
in their
did-
late 20s who were calling 15 to 16-year-old characters in their show the perfect girlfriend.
I think the best video,
Don't think they're good people.
the best thing you can do about Ruby, like the best video you can watch is the H Bomber Guy video.
Mm.
That's a really good video that breaks down a lot of the issues that I have with Ruby. I think the action in Ruby is great.
Yes.
It's Monty Ohm, of course it is. I think the music,
Season 1 at least.
the first 3 seasons are Monty Ohm.
No, just 1. He died after 1.
No, he's right here credited for the first 3. I watched the show. You didn't.
Oh. Oh, I didn't watch the show, but I know that he passed away shortly after the first season was
Yeah,
released.
but he did the work in the first 3 seasons. Because they were done pretty quick.
Because Monty wouldn't sleep.
Yeah. And I think even the later seasons have some good action. They because the thing is Miles and Luna didn't fucking touch that, so they got good people to come in after, and weren't as good as
Yes.
Monty Ohm, but they were still pretty good.
The thing is that you can't measure other people to Monty Ohm.
He's a
Monty
fucking league of
Ohm
his
was
own.
a visionary. If you
he
go
was
back and watch his
creative.
pre-Rooster Teeth stuff, like
It's really good.
it's
really good.
still amazing today.
I would want to show a Ruby clip on this podcast right now, but it'd probably get copyrighted. His Viz
Would probably.
Because Viz is fucking an anime manga company, so they copyright everything.
Yes. No, don't risk it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. So, Ruby just sucks. I did notice this though. What the fuck is this? Justice League and Ruby, superheroes and huntsmen. I did not know this existed. In the fuck, this is like what the fuck is going on? I know Grim Eclipse. My brother 100% of this game. I think it's the first game he ever bought with his own money. Because he was a much bigger Ruby fan than I was.
Was that the bad Ruby game? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Probably.
give me some footage because I immediately.
Oh my god, I am so bad at fucking
You
typing.
cannot type for your fucking life.
Definitive edition from 3 years ago.
No, shut up.
A let's
me
play
some
of Grima
gameplay.
Clips. It's a let's play of Grima Clips.
Just mute.
Yeah.
We're losing.
Oh no, yeah. This is Grima Clips.
Oh yeah. Yes, this was the bad Ruby game.
Oh, not upgraded to Nova anymore. Guys,
Oh god. Uh-oh. I saw who popped up
See,
on
you
screen there.
immediately get uncomfortable shit when you bring up that era.
Yeah. But yeah, Ruby, it's it's that. You know what I really
For
liked?
anybody who wants to do the homework on Ruby, just go watch the H Bomber guy video.
Or watch Ruby, honestly. Just watch the first few seasons of Ruby
Like,
and form your
don't-
own opinions. Because it's not that long.
Don't like.
It's I am pro telling people to go watch more things. I always liked Camp, by the way. I liked how they have the full first episode here on Wikipedia. Gotta love that. Is it really the full first episode? Oh my god, it is. It's a full 11-minute video clip.
It
That
is
is
the
so
full
funny.
fucking video.
I always
That's
loved
wild.
Camp was fun. It was another show made by Miles Luna, but I feel like he was better here because I don't think he wrote it. Well, he was one of the writing credits, but there was a lot of people who wrote this show, so it wasn't just him.
A lot of the character work
Excuse
was
me?
done very much by the voice actors. I think, like when you look at somebody
Sasuke.
like Mike Jones.
Sasuke was in this one. I didn't even know that was Sasuke.
Shout out to Mike Jones though, just
Yes.
because I can, because like
Yes.
Mike Jones is such a different kind of vibe that I usually would even.
Yeah. Camp was really fun. I love Michael. What else we got here was good. Immersion was awesome. I loved Immersion.
Immersion was fun.
Immersion was really,
And-
really good.
And one of those things that actually featured what I would consider on the team one of the actual people who knows filmmaking.
What'd you say? I kind of blanked out there.
One of the people who actually knows filmmaking was involved and was deeply involved with
Gavin.
Immersion. Gavin, who the
Gavin,
only
you haven't
one
mentioned
who
him.
had worked on actual like mainstream big AAA titles
I think that is a positive
outside of
comment
Rooster Teeth.
of every Achievement Hunter member, except for Jack, which I need to say a nice thing about Jack. He has a good beard, I guess. There you go. Slow-mo guys. Is this really a Rooster Teeth thing? That's his own thing. I don't know why this is here.
This wasn't a Rooster Teeth thing. This was just, I think it's just closely linked with Rooster Teeth because of how deep into Rooster Teeth Gavin eventually got, because
Yeah.
he was the head of creative,
Yeah.
like all creative, both animation and live action at one point.
Yeah. Slow-mo guys is really good. I think some slow-mo guys videos for a while held the record for like most viewed videos on YouTube for a while. Some of them, not like they weren't number one, but like they were
They
up
were
there.
great.
They're
Gavin-
they're really good.
Your videos were great to watch high.
$1 million.
Gavin's
but-
attention to detail on I just want to mention Gavin's attention to detail on slow-mo guys as far as the audio editing goes was amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I have some of those like the sound effects from those videos in my head. Like I can think of them and imagine them completely as they were.
Yeah.
Really
Because what was the thing? When you film in super slow-mo, you don't actually pick up any audio.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the audio you hear in slow-mo guys, like slow motion spots, is things that he manually put in. The glass shattering and stuff like that in slow motion were all things that he paid personal attention to.
Really good. $1 million, but
Good conceptually.
influenced my my comedy for about 5 years. I still like to ask bad hypothetical questions because of this show.
Because this was $1 million, but wasn't even initially like going to be a serious thing.
No,
It was
a
just
thing that the
something they
people
would talk
said.
about
Yeah.
like on the podcast, like
Yeah.
you know.
If
to fuck with it.
anyone knows the meme of the snail that is immortal and you are immortal, and if you touch the snail you die, that comes from Rooster Teeth, and it comes from the original $1 million butt bit they did on the podcast that eventually made it to the show. So
The snail assassin.
the snail assassin, the immortalness of the snail assassin, that is from Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I do love that bit.
It is
Da,
really
da,
funny.
da, da, da.
Da.
What was the name? John Risinger. What John Risinger?
This show is also influenced my comedy because now I love bad stuff.
On the spot, make me like bad things.
On the spot made me adore hastily put together when I love it when shit falls apart. I love it when I'm watching something.
There was a single episode of On the Spot that went as it was meant to. This show was a shit show from beginning to end on every single episode.
Loved it. Every episode turned into someone going,
and
I don't want to be here anymore.
I will give them this credit, right? Regardless of how bad every single time was, they still put it out.
This show, it felt like a sketch from like a fucking improv group every single time. Like it did not feel like a game show. It felt like a fucking postmodern comedy sketch.
Yeah, On the Spot is basically abstract art in the form of a TV show.
Though I can't even describe what the show was. It was literally like generic game show concepts, but with a cast that does not want to be there, and everyone is having attention deficit.
Like abrasively issues. Does not want to be there. Not just like they were a bit uncomfortable. Like they would like fuck all this shit.
It's not like oh, I'm bored. It's like for people who watch streams, it's like when I get disinterested on stream and then start becoming a little chaos gremlin for everyone around me. It's like that, but like 5 people at once.
As people, if I remember correctly, it was the only show that Rooster Teeth put out where on the show itself people would be saying like, this is trash and I don't want to be here, but like the boss put me up to this, so I guess I'm here now. And they would still put that on screen. They would still put that out as like part of the episode.
There was some great effort put in by some people on there. There were some guests like Jeremy from Achievement Hunter. Love him too. That's the last Achievement Hunter member we have to give praise to also is Jeremy. Love him. He's after your time, but I do love him.
I was one of the people who initially didn't get behind Jeremy because you have to admit, Jeremy felt like a let's replace Ray hire.
Yeah, pretty much. Though for a while,
he grew into his own. He grew into his own thing, and he definitely he outshines a lot of even the older cast.
Yeah.
But initially, his first appearances was very much like, stop trying to take over Ray's niche.
There's one really funny bit from one of the Minecraft Let's Plays where they're like, this comes from an idea from a fan of ours named Ray Nervaez Jr. And they're like, aw. And then Jeremy goes, I took your spot.
I can appreciate that a whole lot more now. But I will say, I did actually go on to watch a lot of Jeremy's Twitch streams that he did separate from Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, he's really entertaining.
He is. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
he
seems like a lot of fun. Yeah. I gotta go back and rewatch the fucking Minecraft videos again.
Who was the other one that came on shortly after
Bragg.
Jeremy as well?
Matt
Bragg.
He was there actually before Jeremy.
Sasquatch.
They came on together. They came on
They
together.
came on
and they worked in the background
but I
for a
feel
while.
like Matt Bragg didn't get as big as Jeremy as
He didn't
quick.
become what you would call like a cast member or ever until
he was more a
later.
Recurring character.
He was, because he had been doing a lot of the him and Jeremy had been doing Let's Builds and stuff for the Minecraft videos, then set up for a lot of the stuff. They were on the Minecraft videos, him, Jeremy, and
Very
Lindsay, they were like the build team. They go in and they do the things for them to do in the videos and stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Lindsay too.
Lindsay's great.
Lindsay was also great. I feel like Lindsay got a lot of shit. Like, as we spoke about earlier with the whole sexism, racism thing, like,
She did.
she got a lot of shit just for being the girl on the team,
She got a lot
but
of shit
she
from
handled it
fans.
so fucking well.
She got a lot of shit from fans too.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Oh, here's the whole. We didn't even look at this. So yeah, here's the whole list of controversy here. They had Vic Managa, who's a famous voice actor. He played Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. He had sexual harassment allegations, and he was a big voice actor for Ruby. He played Crow.
Okay.
Yeah, Adam Kovic and Ryan Haywood. This one was kind of bad because this one kind of got grouped in with Ryan. I don't
As
remember,
far as
his
I
thing wasn't that
understand,
bad.
what Kovic did was nowhere near as bad as what
Yeah,
Ryan
it was
did.
like his nudes got leaked, and he was just kind of like, I think he was cheating on his wife with like another adult. So it's like a generic scandal. But then Ryan was like sexually abusing fans and like
Like
being a horrible
like an actual
person, like an
predator,
actual
using
predator.
his fame to to be a predator
Yeah,
against
this is when
with
I
his
stopped.
hands.
This is when I stopped watching Rooster Teeth. Which is actually, it was actually around my birthday too when this all happened, and I was like, oh. There's the bigotry stuff down here. Think I saw Jeff Ramsey responded to Jen's message apologizing for the prior statement. I think they mention Mika Burton somewhere here. Maybe they don't. Mika Burton is actually the daughter of LeVar Burton
Yes,
from Star
Shout out to
Trek
LeVar Burton
and
too.
Reading Rainbow.
I love LeVar Burton.
Of course you do. You're a Star Trek fan. I didn't spell his name wrong.
Yes, you did. I saw that.
He was one of the people who was going to be host for Jeopardy. Do you know that? After Alex Trebek
That
died,
would have been cool.
he only had because the way they did it after after Alex Trebek died, they had like a series of different people come on, and he was one of the people. But I think he had one of the least amount of votes, sadly, because I don't
I
think
love LeVar
fans,
Burton.
because it's like fans of Jeopardy aren't the type of people to like, oh, LeVar Burton, because like LeVar Burton was there not for Star Trek but for Reading Rainbow. That's why they brought him
Yeah.
there, and it's like, well, that's
The
like a
thing
children's
is,
show, and it's like, well,
when I see LeVar Burton in the pictures they post of him now, it's so weird to me because the LeVar Burton I know or like had the most exposure to was him in Next Generation. And just pull up a picture of LeVar Burton in Next Generation, you'll see what I mean.
yeah, no beard, not graying.
There's got there no. There's got to be a picture of him where he takes off his visor.
Never.
He does though at some point in this. There's a couple of points in the series. A lot actually. He doesn't wear it like. There's one. You can see his face. He doesn't look like even the reading. He doesn't even look like the Reading
No.
Rainbow LeVar Burton. He looks so different.
No. Yeah. I would watch Reading Rainbow on VHS when I was younger. Not a lot of it.
You gotta watch Next Generation with me.
I know, I do. I think we're ranted about Rooster Teeth enough. I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited to see what happens.
Bring back Jeff.
I hope we get like original things. I don't want it to just be, oh, it's like the good old days. We have Achievement Hunter back and we have Ruby back. Well, they're not getting that one back. They don't got the money for that one.
No, they don't.
We got the
But
podcast going, and it's like I want like new
I'm
things.
not saying I want Jeff back because I want to go back to like, quote unquote good old days. I want Jeff back because like I just dig Jeff and whatever he's doing. Like I don't know what he's doing now.
He's been doing Fuckface, which is his like basically just Let's Play show.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna look that up.
yeah. They mentioned it on that interview. I actually haven't had a chance. We can look it up right now, actually. I think it's
I
spelled like
tried
that.
googling him, and that's when I that's
Fuckface
pretty
podcast
much
along
all I
with
found.
Gavin and Andrew. Just type in Jeff Ramsey. Let's see, because it says I saw it somewhere around here. I saw it yeah, down here, fuckface, which it said it ended in 2024, so I guess that sucked.
Yeah, I think that ended around the time. Like he stepped away from just about everything. Like I haven't been able. What I was looking up Jeff Ramsey when I found
This
that
is it,
podcast I sent to you, which is
right?
Bernie's podcast.
Oh yeah, here's an animated episode of it on the Rooster Teeth animation. That looks like shit. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the way this looks.
Very like 90s
It feels like
low budget.
it feels like a sports podcast. It feels like this is there was a show that came out recently. I'm gonna type in and see if this brings it up. This show, which is like it's the South Jersey fucking, it's like place in fucking Cherry Hill. This is disgusting, and this is what it reminded me of. It's just another one of those fucking adult animated sitcoms. This time though, it's in New Jersey, and it's yeah.
I feel like those are incredibly difficult to do.
They almost always suck. They almost always suck. Also, this is pretty accurate to what everyone from South Jersey looks like. I'm not gonna lie.
Speaking of like adult animated shows, I actually did like Archer.
Archer isn't a part of
As
that
bad
genre,
as
in
it
my opinion,
was.
because it's not. It's not like all the ones that like I think are bad are just Family Guy ripoffs. Archer isn't a Family Guy ripoff. It's an adult animated show. It's not an adult animated sitcom. Like I feel like
Yeah, well, it's not really a sitcom, but
yeah,
it is in that same genre of
yeah,
adult
yeah.
animated
I
shows.
do need to watch Archer. I think actually the only good adult animated sitcom is, well, I guess Bob's Burgers. I was gonna say American Dad, but also Bob's Burgers. Those are like the only
Then
two.
if you've watched Bob's Burgers, then Archer's gonna be very weird for you.
Yeah, because it's the fucking same voice actor
Because Archer is played,
by Bob Belcher.
yeah.
He talks like this. He's got the I'm Bob Archer and I'm also Archer. Bob Archer.
And there's an episode in one of the later seasons of Archer where Archer loses his memory, and it takes place in like Bob's Burgers. Instead of Bob, it's Archer as Bob. Like the same wife, the same kids, but it's Archer. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
That is very funny. Did you know that the original pitch for Bob's Burgers was to have them be cannibals?
That doesn't surprise
And
me.
there
The
was an
problem with
animation put out of them for like a pilot, and it's them. He's like it's Bob and I forget his fucking wife's name, and they're like having a petty like just average like little nagging argument while he's like grinding up a hand in a meat grinder.
I feel like there's the major problem with adult animated shows is the attempt to be edgy for edgy's sake. Even the show Archer falls into that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Um there's just there's one person here. Yes, Jay Johnston from Bob's Burgers was arrested on Jan 6th.
Oh my. Oh my.
That's really funny.
Oh my.
It's so funny. I is
That's
I think they killed his
What's
character.
funny on that note of Jan 6 is how many of those pardoned Jan 6s are either now dead or in prison again,
Sham Sheeter.
right?
Sham Sheeter. Yeah. There was that one who got shot by the cop because he was being an asshole at a traffic stop. Shouldn't have gotten shot by a cop. Also, probably shouldn't have stormed the Capitol building, but what are you gonna do? There's there was a lot of them just getting
The
arrested for
woman
like
who got arrested like on a DUI, and then it turns out like before Jan 6 she also had like 9 DUIs.
amazing that she made it to the Capitol and safely. Uh
Um,
uh there I don't want to talk about it, but I almost did. That guy. I don't think. No, he wasn't at the Gen 6. There was a guy who
No,
shot the
well,
cops.
before we get there, I'm just gonna say it was a good episode. Thank you for joining. Yes, I'm actually gonna do that to you because I know where you're about to dive, and I'm not gonna follow you into that pool,
Rip
that
Steve.
fucking cesspool.
Hashtag Rip Steve.
Rip Steve with 50% off. Dear God. On that note, thank you for coming to the Squeaky Dogcast.
Trump weed. Hashtag Rip Steve.
And on that note, before we do end,
Yeah.
I guess a small Squeaky Dogcast announcement is that we are working on a few updates
Yes.
to the format and the channel and the release schedule, which either this week or next week will be changing slightly. So we might be releasing earlier.
I think we should all
Basically, just
do the change at once.
cutting down the time between recording and release.
Yeah, we're gonna change up the layout of how everything is structured. We're gonna change how we record this so that it sounds nicer and looks nicer and stuff. We're gonna start putting these out either on Saturdays or maybe even Fridays. Ooh, Friday.
We can only hope.
We can only hope.
We'll talk to our editors.
Me,
which is
and,
just
and
us.
Jade. We are the editors, but in the future. So, yeah, thank you for the support, everyone. It's been real nice being able to make these and know that people listen to them, enjoy them.
It is lots of fun.
Nice.
So thank you for joining us. I hope
that
you have a great week, everybody.
Yeah. Hope you have
And
great
let's all
day.
sit back and watch the world burn.
Yup. Yup. Mm-hmm.
Bye.